Hi, welcome to the Bet Motorsports Podcast. I'm David Beckett, and I own a donkey factory.
David's Donkeys is what that's called.
David's Donkeys. We rent them. You buy them.
Let me know when it started.
But you guys forget, we already went over this. You guys are the donkeys.
I am the donkeys.
We do shows at 12, 2, 3, 4, and 5 p.m.
You're listening to the Bent Motorsports Podcast with the owner of Bent Motorsports, David Beckett, and his crew, Jacob Hunsinger, James Hernandez, and Jake Russo. Listen in as the guys discuss all things motorsports, including tech tips and current shop projects.
So today's a super special edition of the Bet Motorsports Podcast because we're minus a Jake, but we're positive some ABG and Kenny.
It's not necessarily a bad thing, honestly. I mean, Jake's not here. That's kind of a win.
Jake's in Hawaii for everybody to know.
Boo.
Yeah, boo.
Hawaii's stupid.
I pay him too much. He's in Hawaii and I'm not.
Yeah, what the heck?
Damn it.
Yeah,
You're selling your Price is Right trailer.
I am selling my Price is Right trailer.
That's
If
how bad
anybody
things
wants
are.
a pop-up trailer, I'm selling it.
Kenny, where do you...
No,
in the
my
motorsport... Everybody shut up. I'm
They
trying
were
to
about to
introduce
kiss.
Kenneth.
Kenny, have a voice. You have
Hello, I'm Kenneth. I have a voice. This
Yeah.
is it? Yeah. What's up?
Where do you come from in the motorsports world, Kenneth?
Import stuff.
Import stuff. sick.
Nissans and stuff.
Haven't you taken like a bunch of sick photos and video of like cars that make sideways happen?
Oh man, they go so sideways.
That's cool. They make like 40 mil.
Way too many numbers.
They make all those horses.
All the horses.
Cool. Sick.
So,
Angle kits.
Angle kits.
angle kits.
Anger.
So we got Rally James.
Yeah.
We got BMW Jake.
It's shying away from
It's
that
basically a
nowadays.
muscle car at this point. It's an American muscle
That's-
car.
I say
what I
every time
wanted.
he works on that BMW, it gets better and better because it becomes more of a Chevrolet every
That's
day.
right. That's right. And my dad's influence on like what cars I like is super big because it was like, let's go to the Pomona swap meet, and I knew like every single car there. So it was like, oh, I'm into BMWs now. What is this? You know, it's like, no, I want like a C10 pickup truck or like a 57 Bel Air and all these cars. So it's like kind of bringing myself back to that. You know, maybe I'll put the little wings on the back like the Bel Air.
good.
That'd be cool.
I'm glad you're finding yourself again.
Yeah.
Staying true to your roots.
It's good. It's good. It's heartfelt.
Gibby, what do you drive right now?
Everybody remember Gibby? Gibby and Steph from Gamblers, Gambler 500 SoCal. They're back in the shop, and they're having a hard time with the microphone.
Not they, Stephanie. Stephanie, giggle for everybody real quick. Wanna? Lean in and giggle. Give it a giggle.
Can't even breathe. He's got a courtesy car. Tell him about your courtesy car.
I have a 1996 Chevy S10 Blazer courtesy car for my friend Sterling in Barstow, who's working on my Beamer. Don't hate on the Beamers, Jake.
No.
Do you have a winch on yours?
No, I don't.
Anyways, moving on.
You have a V8 in yours?
Yeah, it's good to be back. Thank you.
Oh.
For whatever
Hey,
reason.
and I know you were going to ask about me. I'm driving a bitchin' Camaro.
Oh man.
Are you?
I am.
IROC
It's
Z.
not mine.
Is that the Camaro
Is it an
that's out
IROC
there?
Z?
No, I said, hey, IROC Z28, and she gave me the millennial leg. What? I said, never mind.
You know, the International Race of Champions.
With the IROC 5-spoke
Please.
20-inch
It's
wheels.
only a V6. But it is stick shift.
Yeah, well, guess
Chop
what?
and
The
bleed.
Ford GT's only a V6, too.
and
right?
it's fast.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, actually.
I had a V6.
It's fast because I drive it.
Oh. I had a V6 Firebird, which is basically a Camaro. And it wasn't that fast.
No. They're slow. They're slow. Let's be honest.
I mean, it goes fast on the freeway. But
I think-
everything's fast.
I think Kenny needs to talk more about his. So, what do you like? Stance imports, or do you like the big zoomy pipes that go up like they do in Japan? I mean, like where you stand on? I mean, imports now is it? I mean, it could be a variety of stuff.
Yeah, it's a dangerous game.
Yeah.
I guess just like pretty much like Japanese muscle in a sense.
Japanese muscle. Okay, I like it.
What'd you own?
Well, I owned the 240
With?
turbo 4-cylinder. It was making like 420, but you know that's just not.
I didn't even know
Practical.
this thing about Kenny, you know, like he had a cool car. I
Kenny
didn't know
used to
this.
whip it.
It was dope. It was rad.
This is all news. All news.
Uh-huh. His car is
Whip it
faster
good.
than your car.
I know.
Was faster.
And then didn't you, James, give him a car or help get him a car
91
that has a
LS400
1UZ in it
158,000 miles and still running.
and still running, right?
It's totally fine. Yeah.
That's
Oh,
not,
dude, that's broken in.
And it
that's
was
not
free.
surprising. My Beamer has a 298,000, and
Oh.
it's a British Motor Works, so they're totally unreliable.
I got a Ford out front with 320,000 miles on it.
Is it diesel?
Better
No.
than all the cars in the
Not
parking
It's a
lot.
351 Windsor.
The Windsor is bulletproof.
We think.
Debatable.
Like, I think
Challenge accepted, James.
actually shoot it.
Challenge accepted.
Up to 223.
I'm going to blast that thing.
Right on.
Hey, Stephanie, are we bothering you? Are you having a hard time texting while we're doing this podcast?
I'm sorry.
I just don't want to accidentally kiss you while we have to trade off the mic.
Yeah, so Gibby and Steph are sharing a microphone, right?
I saw it.
So Kenny's on Jake's mic, and then we have our guest microphone that is basically this.
Shaped like a phallic symbol.
Well,
And not plugged into anything.
yeah, so they've got to share that mic, and it is a little awkward. Like if this was a live podcast that we could video and you could watch, you would be super entertained by them trying to reach over and talk into the same microphone. We're pretty ghetto here. We can't afford another microphone.
Too many microphones.
There's too many.
Right on. Okay, so you guys got more not races coming up, right?
Well, wait. There's microphone. Are there two turntables?
No,
Because I have a microphone. Is that too old of a reference?
no,
I
that's
get the
Not
reference.
races. We're doing, Stephanie, Mini Bike Gambler. When is that going to take place?
Affirmative. Probably, we're looking at August, September, sometime in there. We'd like to do it sooner rather than later because it's hot, but maybe kind of later so it'll not be so hot. I don't know.
Yeah, because if it's out in the desert, it's like 110 out there
It's
today.
kind of the desert, but then it's up the mountain a little ways.
Oh,
elevation.
coming up
There's
which
elevation.
side? Coming up into
These are all
Julian?
hints.
So it's a
No.
secret? Is it a secret?
It's a
Stephanie?
secret. You don't have to tell us.
The Big Bear area.
Oh, it's a Big Bear area. Okay.
Just
Thanks for
in
finally
the
getting around
area.
to that.
It could be 50 miles away. It could be 100 miles away. It's just in the area.
Are you talking about like the town or just like kind of where bears hang out?
Probably talking about you starting like
The-
Johnson
the
Valley or
big
something and
ones
come up
or
the
the
back,
small
or
ones?
It's,
I think the big ones.
well, go ahead. I
big
wasn't
one.
there.
The
In-
medium,
it was up
the
there.
thick ones.
Gibby wasn't there. He
thick
he had a thing. He couldn't go.
So it's in Alaska.
My surgery got approved.
That's where the big
Yeah.
big
That's on the
big
slabs.
bears are.
There's like 3 lizards and a bear. That's all I'll tell you.
okay,
They
3
walk
lizards
into
and
a
a bear.
bar.
They walk into a bar.
It's the
a 2-foot salami under one arm and a poodle under the other arm.
no, it's an.
It is a track though this time. It's gonna be a circuit like.
Oh,
track.
rad.
It's a race. It's gonna be
It'll be
It is a
yeah.
race.
It'll have.
Oh,
Oh,
that'll
this one is a race.
And it's mini bike, so I'm guessing it's
And
like
it's
pull
fine.
start. You were
Full
saying earlier,
start,
so it's a
yep.
pull start bike, like the Coleman's,
there,
right?
there will be a pit area, so like you
Ooh,
can come in
hot
and you can
pits.
trade like riders. You know.
Hey, David, remember when you used to have like 4 mini bikes?
Those
Yeah,
would not
I had
last
I had 4 pocket bikes that were like crotch rockets,
the real legit sketchy
but they were
ones.
the legit ones, and they were so small I couldn't even ride it. Like it was so tiny.
Were they the Blada pocket bikes, those tiny ones?
Yeah, like
That's the brand. It's like Italian, and
Yeah.
even
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
kid
I
is
think
cramped
so.
on one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we had one that was a little bigger than that,
and then
and
the landlord bought it, right?
no, I sold them all to Judah.
I thought you sold them to Drew.
No, he wanted one, but he didn't. I think I sold them all to Judah.
Okay, details question. Can I put tiny little street tires on a 50cc little dirt bike and run a supermoto mini bike style?
See, it's got to be pull start, right?
I like your style. Well, the goal with what we're doing is in the other places I've done the mini bike gamblers, anyone that has a pit bike or a dirt bike or the ATVs are way too fast. And
Oh,
since
they
it's
are?
a circuit, it's probably like a 2-3 mile circuit. We're shooting for 50 miles total,
Okay.
which doesn't sound like much compared to a 500 mile gambler. But on a mini bike with no suspension, 50 miles is like torture. It's like crossing the desert in the middle of summer.
Yeah, because no
So-
suspension, right, on those things.
Yeah, there's no. Stephanie, go ahead. Yeah, there's no suspension. I don't know how far you get on gas on those, but the circuits are going to be relatively small, so laps. So like Stephanie said, you'll come through
50 miles.
It's more like clutches per mile instead of gallons per mile.
Perfect.
But we thank Coleman as a sponsor, and their clutches are just awesome.
What's a mini bike? What's the CC? What's the displacement on like a normal displacement?
I don't the Coleman
Depends
CTU.
on Harbor Freight has
I don't
on
know.
sale.
It's like a 6 horsepower. Yeah, a lot of people take if they don't want to get the Coleman if they already have a mini bike frame, They buy the Predator motor from Harbor Freight, the $100 Predator motor. It's a
That's
212cc.
That's a 6.5.
Yeah, that's a beast in my mini bike world compared to other stuff.
You can buy the beef up kits for them too, and they give it another horsepower.
And they're only like the Coleman ones are like $300, right?
I think they're like, I saw a coupon, they're like $500 maybe. Quit moving the microphone. I saw a video of guys on YouTube that take it way too seriously, and they've taken the governor out of that Coleman mini bike because it was going like 23 miles an hour down the dude street, and it got to go over 30, which is like the speed of sound on a mini bike.
We got to get one of those. We'll take the governor out, and we'll meth inject it.
Didn't you have one?
Yes. Well, so we're going to haul ass.
What about the one that was here?
I sold it.
Oh. Oh.
That was a proper.
Was it to Drew?
That was a proper mini bike.
What was my other stupid question? Oh, are you guys gonna have like a lap vehicle that's like a lawnmower?
A what vehicle?
Because you should.
Oh, she wants this one.
What do they call like the parade lap thing?
Yeah.
The pace car.
Or like the pace car, the safety car.
Like a lifted mud lawnmower, you mean?
Yes.
Thanks for stepping up. That's going to be you.
Okay, I'm so down with that.
I would totally volunteer for that, honestly. It'd be funnier if you had like a giant fire hose that if somebody did come in first and they had like a cheater bike, you could just spray them with the fire hose and like knock them off. That'd be cool. I don't know.
That reminds me, because the Gambler events, the first car to camp gets a bullet ball through the back window.
You can't do that to a motorcycle.
So, yeah, mini bike. What do we do to a mini bike? I say remove the front brake lever.
I'd say throw
or
it.
just crack
Sign the waiver
bleeder.
and remove
None
it.
of my bikes have ever had brakes.
How about stab the front tire with a claw hammer?
What's a claw? Oh, a claw hammer. I thought you said cloud hammer. I was like, he's quite the gamer. He's like 11th level, magician in the game. All those games.
Or like a 20-pound sledgehammer right to the front wheel, because obviously it's probably going to be pretty janky Chinese crap alloy, and just boom, dent that thing into a V.
Again, I don't know the origins, but the Coleman makes an outstanding mini bike. The Chinese.
Thanks, Coleman.
The pull start.
No. Yeah, I like Coleman. They're cool people. I like it a lot more when they send us a free one. So if we get enough people, we get a free.
I would think all the charters should have one, right?
Yeah.
You guys are the Southern California ones.
Hey, off topic. The original Gambler car thing in July, we're sponsored by Sig Sauer now.
No.
How rad is that?
way.
They're the presenting sponsor. It says Gambler 500, the OG rally in Oregon, Sig Sauer.
That's dope.
Do we all get free cigs?
Yeah, no, Sig Sauer. It's like a vaping thing. It's an e-cig.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I was totally misled.
That's rad. That's a rad sponsor, though.
When's you guys' next actual Gambler?
It's the mini bike event, which is Stephanie's thinking really hard. You should see the look on her face. We actually put a poll up on our Facebook group, see who wanted to go.
Sweet.
And we put within a month or longer than 2 months, and most people selected longer than 2 months because they're not ready. But hopefully the elevation of the Big Bear area won't be too hot. So, and everyone's allowed to come if they want to bring their Gambler cars or motorcycles or pit bikes, like James said, or whatever.
But only the bikes are allowed on the track.
Yeah, just because there's a pretty big variety in speed. Stephanie, what are you texting?
Stephanie, are you Snapchatting?
She can't just.
Oh my God, no.
And this is why I talk so much. Okay.
Or if those people do bring their like hopped up mini bikes or pit bikes, then make that another class. Is that frowned upon?
I guess if there's enough interest, we're not against it. It doesn't. The mini bike thing. Coleman's one of our sponsors. They're really cool. It's hilarious fun. When we went to the Mint 400, they invited the gamblers to the Mint 400, which is their awful judgment. And we took over a lake bed out there, and we brought out a bunch of Colemans and set up a time trials track.
Nice.
It was actually fun as shit. But no suspension makes it brutal. So if there was interest, I would say do more classes. I want like an old MB5, like the little 50 cc's, like street legal bike. Has to be video. This is why you did your makeup. Dave, Beckett, he's like, oh, because she's going to like go live.
Yeah.
It's a radio thing.
Nailed it. So let's move on a little. I want Jake, because I know he's jonesing over there to talk about his BMW project, and we haven't got everybody back up to speed. So that thing's driving around, right?
It is driving, and it is glorious. There was a 14-hour day between me and Dave the day before Bimmerfest, and got it done at 10 o'clock that night and drove it home. And this has been like 4.5 months of me working on this damn thing and it being in the shop. And finally, like, literally drove it around the block, checked everything, made sure everything was legit. And then right after that, I drove it home, and I probably got home at 11 o'clock that night. And straight from there, woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning and drove all the way to Fontana. And then from Fontana, I went to Rancho Cucamonga. And then that next Sunday, went from Rancho Cucamonga to Long Beach, then to San Pedro, and then from San Pedro down to San Diego. So the first weekend of it running, I probably put a solid 300 miles on it.
So you just finished it and just started.
Yeah, just went for it.
Captain Run it, man. That's how you do it.
Done.
Yeah.
Shakedown, done.
Because it's kind of a gamble at that point. Like, I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming everything was good, but do I really know that?
What
No.
issues did you run into?
None.
None?
Well, one, but it wasn't that bad.
Was it none or one? And if so, do you want to talk about the one?
I'll talk about the one, yeah.
Let's do it.
Basically, the power steering pulley was a little wobbly, and so one of the ribs on the 6-row belt shredded off, and it was like hitting my hood, then hitting the frame rail, then hitting the alternator, so it was like just smacking around, and I hear this noise just ka 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 ka, and I was like, oh man, what is this? Like, it's breaking, it's breaking.
What did it sound like?
Oh, right. Okay, now I get it.
You know
Now
that
I
sound?
get it.
You know?
That makes sense.
And so I was about to pull over, and then it went away, and I was like, everything seems to be fine. Like,
It went away. It's on the freeway now. Gone.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's
Problem
what we're
solved.
good
No,
at.
it was in the engine bay. I found it later. But there was 5
good.
ribs left on the belt, so I was like, well, if it made it this far, it's fine. So sure enough, I probably put another, 1,000 miles, maybe even more on it since then, and it's still kicking with 5 ribs, so whatever. I don't know. Judge me if you want. It is what it is.
It's pretty sick.
Yeah,
I'm
it
still
works.
trying to
It's no
figure
big
out
deal.
why you don't like it to be referred to as a BMW.
No,
Or you as a BMW person?
It's still a BMW. I still hang out with that crowd,
Not for long.
Okay,
'cause
that's the
They're
part you
worthy
try
of
to
your
avoid.
presence.
Before he redoes the suspension and does the subframe swap, and then you know what? By that time, he's just going to do a chassis swap, and then
should have just got it. We should have just
And
bought
then
a Corvette.
Before he knows that he owns
Yeah.
a Nova. And he's
Yeah.
like, whoops.
Well, there's another guy that put a
I just did a
C6
Nova swap.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sick. There's a guy that put a C6, or in the process of putting a C6 rear end in the back of a BMW, which is kind of cool, I think. But you at that point, because those are unibody cars, you have to make the attaching subframe, kind of like similar to what you're doing with your whole 4-link thing. You have to make all the reinforced points to harness this subframe, basically. So it's
Right.
kind of
To a point.
Well,
I mean,
speaking of
everything-
that, we had James's Celica. How did the guy say it?
Celica.
Celica.
I
We
showed
had
the
this.
boys the old RAC 1985 footage of Yura Kankinen ripping it up.
I got to be honest. I watched that video, and I feel like that car was slow as fuck. I'm like, wow, is he going to get to the corner anytime soon? You can do it, buddy. You can make it. 2-wheel drive, right? And it was a 22RE he was running that engine, right?
No. He was running he was running something like a 4AGE, 24 valve something.
All right. I mean, it sounded good. I mean, it's a cool looking car. I
It
got to
makes,
admit, I just can't wait to see it with the
350.
1UZ because that's
Yeah.
really what it should have.
Well, you're on gravel, and
It's 2-wheel drive.
it's 2-wheel drive, and you're on gravel. Pretty much at a certain point, you can't put more than 250, maybe a little bit more horsepower down. You just can't. You could have tires as soft as freaking pencil erasers, and
Well, I don't know if you saw in that video,
But you
he
wouldn't
would
go
be
that
coming
far.
up, he'd be approaching a hairpin, and he'd be doing the Scandinavian flick an 1/8 mile back, getting the thing
yeah.
starting to wiggle
Oh,
in the
yeah.
back, and he's planning it, getting it to wiggle, and then boom, when he'd swing it around the corner. I mean, it was impressive, but I felt like that car was so slow.
I mean, especially when you look at it compared to the other 4-wheel drive, cars. Of
That's
course
what I'm
it's
used to
gonna
seeing. I'm used to watching modern rally, and I look back at the old rally, and I go,
That's why
unless
it's
it was
cool, though. I mean, I think it's cool because, sure, you're not going as fast as the other guys, but it is really hard. It takes a lot of skill to be able to, finesse a rear-wheel drive car on gravel through a corner.
sure,
And, I don't want to talk crap on all-wheel drive or whatever, but,
but
it's-
screw 'em.
But go ahead.
It's
Jerks.
It's point and shoot. If you can get the front of the car pointed where you want it, then you hit the gas. If
and
it's
it's
going
micro adjusting from there. It's a little that way.
I'm not
a little
like
that way.
if you're about to hit the wall, steer away from the wall and hit the gas. It'll put you just hit the gas all the time.
Right.
And mad props actually, even for furthermore, guys who run front wheel drive off road are just nuts. They have to come in.
What's my guy's name with the
with the
Civic?
CRX?
Yeah.
Cody
Really? A
Crane.
rally car? CRX.
Yeah, that guy is
Dude.
insane, so fast.
Cody
crazy.
Crane, this guy up in Oregon, runs CRX, just done up a little bit, good enough for off road, take a beating, and he is one of the fastest dudes out there. He's coming into corners at 80 5+ that people aren't even touching.
He's like the Kirkland brand Colin McRae.
Yeah, that was
Costco.
Nice.
So anyway,
Wow.
that's why, because you don't have to go as fast, you don't have to make as much power in rear wheel drive. You're just having fun, like doing a little thread in the needle, doing a little ballet out there on the dirt. So anyway,
Well, we had a car show here last weekend, and we put his 85 Celica in the back, and we had the 1UZ on a cherry picker, and we were just going to kind of drop it in there on jack stands so that people could see the project that we were going to be doing. And we really couldn't get it in there, so we found out right away that we're going to have to cut most of the car away.
yeah, it's gonna be great.
Going to have to squeeze that thing in there.
There was a guy standing in front of it, like
I was just going to say, no, you do it. You do it.
okay. There's a guy standing in front of it, just chilling, and like I walked by and just wanted to make a joke, and I pointed at my car and was like, "Dude, what a POS, right?" And then he looks at me like straight facing, like he goes, "Yeah, whoever's car that is a real piece of shit," and I was like.
It's mine.
Okay, yes, I know right now it doesn't look like much, maybe, but...
Steph, you remember we brought the R van and they made us park in the back? He said, Dave said all the off-road stuff's going to park in the back. And after 4 hours, we're the only vehicle parked in the back.
Got him.
And then it wouldn't start.
Best part is we went to go move it to the front, and he couldn't get it started.
Yeah, see, they pulled up in the rape van, and I said, "Yeah, you got to park." I said, "You got to park it in the alley." And so he parks
You
it.
gotta bleep that out. Bleep that out.
But he parks it in the alley, and then 4 hours later figures out that he's the only one I'm putting in the alley. I'm like, wow, burned you on that one.
I won a sweet trophy, and I got this free T-shirt, too. So who's
That's
the
true.
real winner, Dave?
That's true. Who's the real winner?
Who's the real loser?
Can we just
too?
talk about Gibby's van real quick?
Gibby's van is pretty cool. It's a sweet little Baja Surfer, I call it.
Yeah.
I've done so much work to that. No, I'm just kidding. I bought it like that. What's your questions? I think I know the year.
Okay. What's the model and year?
No, it's actually a 76 GMC Vandura with a Pathfinder. It's a four-wheel drive kit they used to do on the showroom floor back in the day. So it's kind of rare. It's not a very expensive van, but it's very cool. And it's a guy that used to go surf in Baja all the time with it.
Yeah. And
So
how much of the chassis is actually made of rust?
It's between 40 and 45%.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we sent
numbers
the
still
results
out.
off to the lab. Yeah, the
rest
lab
is
hasn't
just
got back
gone.
to us.
And the resulting...
Well, the rust has been treated with white Rust-Oleum shaker can paint, so that should solve that.
Yeah.
Stop it right in its fucking tracks.
Yeah, stuff's pretty rock solid.
If you could give me just like a random guesstimate of the like gross amount weight of Bondo on the vehicle, would you...
I haven't looked in. I thought you were going to ask about mileage.
No, I want to know how much Bondo's on it.
I don't know. I think that's covered with
Most.
white Rust-Oleum spray paint.
Is that the answer? How much Bondo? Most.
If
Yeah.
it's covered
dig
in
into it.
paint, that doesn't count.
Kenny, hand me your shiv. I'm going to go carve something in the hood and see how much Bondo we have. See, I assumed you had a shiv. Is that bad?
Yeah.
That's
joking.
pretty bad.
I just picked a random.
Just 'cause he's
and
the
then
new guy?
All right, we're
Jake
going to
has
take
the-
a small break.
yeah.
I'm going to talk to Gibby in the back.
Yeah.
You got the shiv.
I'm going to show you my shiv.
The van, it's a $3,500 van, seriously. And I'm on some of the forums, and the guys have these $40,000 Quadra vans and fancy. And they love that van. It's a shorty, you know, and you don't see too many of them. So it gets a lot of looks, and not good looks, but it gets a lot of looks wherever you go.
You should get a flame job on
It's
it.
got bars on the windows.
So if you talk Stephanie into getting in the back and holding onto the bars in the window, and you take a picture from the outside, then people can think you're extra creepy. Are we within 1,000 feet of a school?
No, you're okay.
Cool.
Why are you worried about that?
Carry on.
Good question.
The bars in the window, that's for coat hangers? Drying your clothes, right?
It's a is that what it's probably for?
Maybe.
I've never figured it out. It's like a basket thing.
They're vertical.
Oh.
Well, no, it's a crisscross.
I feel like they're for
I don't know what
trapping
it's-
people. Anybody else trapping people? No?
I looked at
100%
it
trapping people. 100%.
just the other day. I looked at it and it would take 5 minutes to remove it, and I thought, but then I can't get those creepy pictures. No, I don't know. I was just lazy, but I should take it out just for that reason. Because when she got in there and took the picture, holding on the bar, screaming, were you actually screaming? No, it looked like you're actually screaming. I think some people online thought that was questionable, maybe, but that's a gambler move.
When's the next Gambler, straight up, just normal one?
We're planning one probably not too long after the mini bike Gambler, so it'll be like we usually have one around November, but we're gambling to SEMA with the OG folks in October, and then so maybe somewhere time November, December, but we already have it in the books where we're planning that one. Well, the SEMA one, but then the one after that with the cars and stuff, and there may be boats. involved.
Boats.
Might be water related.
I like
remember
the.
this.
Might be water related.
I'm
I
excited.
like that one. The SEMA one. So the SEMA one, have they given you guys any deets on that at all?
The guy that runs SEMA last year, some of the gamblers showed up, like Tate and those guys, the guys that started the Gambler showed up. And the SEMA guy knew what the Gambler was, and he loved it.
Yeah.
And he said, some of my guys want to do it. He's like, you guys should bring all your shit cars to SEMA next year. And I think they're going to rope off the parking lot. It's nothing fancy, but
They're gonna
SEMA
give you a spot.
Ignited is like a show. I don't know if
Right.
it's a nightclub show or something, but I saw a video last year in Club Tao, some fancy club in Vegas. And there's all these hot girls dancing around. And on the huge screen in the background, it says, we welcome the Gambler 500. So clearly someone got into
It's
their
happening.
booth and put the disc in. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool, though.
So I think we need
and-
to gamble to
cars?
to SEMA this year.
We
Yeah.
got like T-minus
I-
30 till my autograph signing. Just want to let you know.
Okay.
Yeah, we go every year.
Oh, well, yeah.
We go every year to SEMA. So if this,
We'll be there.
yeah,
We'll be
I think
there.
we should instead of getting a hotel like we always do, we need to block off a whole bunch of camp spots at the Circus RV campground.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Or
Gibby,
camp on the
have
Jean
you-
Lake bed. Bring it closer, Steph. Let's talk at the same time.
Gibby, have you ever been to SEMA? Have you?
No.
I want to be.
Okay,
I wanna
me
be
either.
Steph
This
so
would be
bad
my-
right now.
my first.
She's so close to Gibby.
So are they? Oh my gosh, this is going
They're
south
like
fast.
licking the microphone together. It's
So-
kinda weird.
So we have to. You guys have to keep me posted on that and see if when that unfolds, if you guys are able to get SEMA passes.
Hey, no, but on a note too, before that, the one in July, that's in like less than a month now, exactly a month from now ish. There's going to be a lot of people. They have so many people going that they can't all do the same route.
Is this the mini bike one or the
No,
Oregon?
the
one?
Oregon, the
The
Oregon,
Oregon
yeah.
one, yeah.
Wow.
And we'll be headed up there. I don't know what we're taking yet, but
Well, I might.
No, it is. It's like Sturgis. It's a town takeover with their permission, a town called Chemult, I guess, or whatever. So they're expecting maybe 2,000 cars.
No way.
Wow.
And it's going to be a beer garden, mini bike races, the 6 Hour, and a bunch of other people are going to be there. Traxxas is a sponsor, so they have RC cars and stuff, but
Daytona,
it's a shit
Daytona
box.
Bike Week of gambling.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, God. That sounds gross. So do you want to answer the question that he asked?
can you repeat the question?
I don't.
Can you use it in a
Can
sentence?
you repeat the question? I don't even remember where we were.
Can we do a
I don't
vintage
remember the
jet
question.
ski gamble?
I wanted to do any kind of personal watercraft gambler from like Long Beach or from here to Catalina. But then everyone's hating on it because, oh, you could die or whatever. Quit doing
Safety
that.
boats.
Yeah, have safety.
Right?
Just have recovery boats, right? Just like
Have
we
your own-
do in the. You could die in the desert. You guys do it in the desert. And it's 100 degrees. You could die out there.
No kidding.
What's
personal-
that? What's a boat? A regale. A regale.
Regatta?
A ragala.
Regala?
That's a boat race, right?
Regala's pasta.
Regatta.
Regatta.
The regatta.
Right, that's what he said.
The
A regatta.
PWC regatta of gambling. I'm
Ramada?
all about it.
Armada.
But someone told me it's only
Some
like
pasta.
23 miles from.
23 miles.
Oh, it was
And
probably
so-
you that told me.
I think it was me. So if you leave from San
His
Pedro
girlfriend
Harbor,
knew, not him.
I knew it.
Oh,
So
was that your sister? No, that was your
No, that was
girlfriend.
your
right?
girlfriend.
Okay, good.
she doesn't look that much like me. Jesus. So you leave from San Pedro Harbor to Isthmus, which is the center point of the island. If you look at it, it's where it comes down to like the low spot. That's like 23 miles, which would be super cool.
I don't know how much gas.
A few gallons.
I think it's a good idea because I'm sure people, just like you guys bring the bent Jeeps out to do recovery for us, we can have like a bent Bayliner, whatever
There
the
has
hell,
to be people
come out
with
and
boats.
recover us.
There has to be.
Drag us out of the water like Natalie Wood after 2 weeks. It was Robert Wagner. He killed her.
That was in Isthmus too. That's
I just made. Sorry. This is why you don't invite us. I just wanted a beer. I like you guys.
This is why we invite you guys.
100%.
I just sit back here and listen
soak
and
it in.
wonder where it all
Soak
comes
it.
from.
Just soak it.
I know. I wasn't hugged a lot. If you quit holding, God, balls.
The way she's holding that microphone up to your face is
Like with experience.
super
It's
disturbing.
because of video. She's taking video and trying to make all your friends happy. So you're prom queen. I'm happy for you.
I don't have friends.
Let's talk about motorsports.
Yeah, what do we got on the motorsports agenda? What are we doing right now, Jake, in the shop?
We have a 1965 Chevrolet C10 long bed pickup truck, and it is bagged, and it is 4-linked, and it's got an LS in it.
Bags,
Jake's
bags,
favorite
bags,
words,
bags, bags.
LS swap.
LS swap. I'm the one that got him to do that, but after he saw me having all the fun, it was like, Yeah, I'm selling my small block, and I'm getting an LS, and so he's.
Oh, he was going to small block Chevy this one?
Yeah. So I think he went the right route.
Of course
Yeah.
you do.
But it is going to lay frame, and it's going to be glorious. So I'm a big fan of the wheels and everything. I can't wait to see it all come together.
Yeah, it's going to be super cool. It's a fun little project.
Dave, is that a customer build? I missed the first part.
Yeah, it's customer build. It's actually one of Jake's close friends.
So I worked at North County House of Motorcycles, and me and this guy Cisco were.
He was the janitor.
And so we
and I don't want you guys to think that he was like top salesman or something.
No. I was lot tech.
Mechanic?
He was
lot tech. I got moved up to parts for a little bit, and so our desks like face each other. So I had to look at this guy's face for 5 days a week, for however many hours. It was bad. It was bad, but he's cool. So this is his truck. He actually bought it like when we were working there. I don't know how many years ago, probably 3 years ago. And so
Yeah, he's been working on it at his house, and he's gotten a long ways, and we're just kind of jumping in to do some of the
more heavy fab and
the stuff that he doesn't have the fab equipment at his house. So we're just jumping in to do some of that stuff for him, and then he'll take it home and finish the job at home. So we're by no means doing the whole build on this one.
But it's some pretty serious stuff that we're doing as far as all the measurements and
so
calculations, and it's a pretty big deal.
Serious. And what else? We got nothing.
I had a question for Kenny. Because he used two words together I've never heard before.
What?
Japanese muscle. The fuck is that, bro?
Like a let's see. I guess it'd be equivalent to like a Hakasuka Skyline. Have you seen the Hakasuka
Gesundheit.
Skyline?
Is that a video game thing again?
No.
What?
Like the Skyline GTR,
Oh, yeah, sorry. Okay.
and it's like their like turbo V6 or inline 6 or NA inline 6. It's kind of like square
so
body.
the key is lightweight.
Yeah.
They have lightweight chassis. and
You
stuff,
just smash a giant old motor in a
Just boom, boom,
little
boom,
tiny
and
thing,
start
and
it up. It just goes.
Yeah.
Japanese muscle, as in one of the cars that Kenny's talking about.
One of the ones that are actually fast.
Australian V8 supercars for a while. They allowed the GTR in there, and this was when old
That's what you
Rocky
mean.
was crushing it. And out of nowhere, this GTR shows up, and everybody's like, oh, "We're gonna with our V8s and all of our power." And then this GTR just smoked people all day. So
It's
he
like the-
raced. Who?
Rock.
No. The old.
Oh.
This is a race car driver.
Gotcha.
Big
I thought it
old
was
Rocky.
your buddy.
No, he actually. I'm not sure Brock's ever officially raced. He's definitely rolled around in some race level cars, though.
That's what counts,
It really does. I mean, he's gotten to rip around in a couple of really cool off-road trucks. That he used to own the most badass V8 swapped Ranger. And
That's
I was
cool.
so bummed because when I met him when I was like 13, I was kind of scared of him because he's giant,
Intimidating fella.
Yes. And
He's not a tiny dude.
and
No.
he's just got like this freaking like salty cowboy face and stuff.
Okay.
And so he showed up and he
Everything James looks for in a man.
2 weeks. That was 2 weeks.
Yeah, and he showed up, and he eventually married my sister. That's why he's my brother-in-law. If anybody doesn't know how that works, and he showed up in this.
I can't quit you.
Swapped Ranger that had no skins on it, so it looked like a death mobile to 13-year-old James. And he's like, "Want to go for a ride?" And I was like, "I'm pretty sure this guy wants to kill me." So I said no,
Free candy.
which was a very bad idea because then he rolled it. He rolled it like that Halloween. And he had a loan out on it too to build it, and ever since like all the while I've been like, I'm gonna build this truck or this car, and he's like, whatever you do, never ever take a loan out on that. You will be paying that. You're gonna crash it, and you'll be paying for it for the next 5 years for no specific reason.
Solid advice.
That is.
He
It
is a wealth of advice.
Hey, the last time Steffi and I were in here, the other Jake, there's two Jakes, people. The less good-looking Jake. Drug in some Ranger sideways that he got off Craigslist. You remember that?
Yeah.
What's the status of that project at Bent Motorsports?
That's it right there behind you.
That's the
all
four-cylinder.
that's left of it.
So all we wanted out of that was the engine.
It was he got it for super cheap. I forget how much.
Free.
Yeah, if not
No,
like $100
$100.
As cheap as possible.
$100 maybe.
Oh, rad.
Yeah.
All we needed was the engine, so he pulled the engine out, and he's going to build it up and turbo it. And just
And
make
that,
a badass
that
turbo
engine checked out to be pretty prime from what I
Yeah, it was
remember, right?
primed.
Compression test was good, leak down test, everything was like
Well, it doesn't
pretty
matter. We're
solid,
changing all that shit anyways,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we brought it to and had it he had it Magnaflux, right?
Yeah.
Magnafluxed and boiled.
Yeah.
And so it checks out. It's good. I don't think it's ever been bored out, so it's a fresh block. So
I
it'll be
thought
good.
the motor was solid. What was questionable was his dolly setup. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, that was ours.
And
He
went like 40 miles like that. I was like,
And
that's gambling.
The
That's
strap
ABGs.
fell off the wheel.
That's how we do it. Right?
The strap fell off the wheel, and it was just kind of holding the control arms in. I don't know if it would have went off. I don't.
Well, Jake showed
On
me.
the Jeep? On his old Jeep?
No. We have that little tow dolly where you drive the front wheels up on it and you throw straps around the wheels.
Never mind.
And one of them slipped off the wheel to the inside and was basically holding the control arms and everything, but it wasn't that tight. And then I think the other side was somewhat decent. It was a pretty sketchy little setup.
Well, you showed me a video of somebody. You guys have probably all seen it on social media. Towing a U-Haul down the road that had flipped onto its side.
I just saw that. Yeah.
And Jake shows it to me. He goes, "Look at this person." I'm like, "Yeah, what's up? I don't understand.
It's normal.
Fucking trailer. You got to keep going, bro. You got to get where you're going."
Get the extra insurance. Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's a U-Haul. It's to keep going, man. I know
I
they can do
wonder-
about it now.
I saw the video and I was wondering if the person even knew about it because it was like a fancy SUV.
Yeah.
I figure it's probably some, I can't say woman, but I'll say woman driving it that just didn't give a fuck about it.
Right.
Like Stephanie would totally do that on the way home. Are you even here?
I drive better than you.
I don't count that.
Boom.
I've driven with
Boom.
Gibby.
Roasted.
I can't say anything about
Remember
women
that time
drivers.
I
My wife's
rallied-
got more trophies on the wall than I
Yeah,
do.
your wife is scary.
Yeah.
It's Brittany, bitch.
Brittany's got 2 national championships.
Every time I see her, I'm scared of her racing prowess. So I try to overcompensate.
Yeah.
I'm like, boo, haha, yeah, what's up, Jelly? You race car driver, you.
Punch her in the arm.
I'm cool too. I'll kill you.
It'd be cooler if Dave looked like Kevin Federline.
She has that face on.
Oh my gosh, $20,000 a month for being Kevin Federline? Come on.
Right? I'd be Kevin
That's
Federline for
insane.
$1,200 a month.
Even better, he looks like you.
Oh.
Stephanie's a one-liner. She's totally phoning it in.
You guys might be brothers, come to think of it. I've never put two and two together.
I'm his sister, Gibby's sister, and he's my uncle. So make sense. of
Sister, uncle?
That's one of our
Family
favorite.
tree.
That's one of our
Sister,
favorite
uncle.
games we
I
do in the
love that
shop.
game.
Can't tell the public about this.
Oh my gosh, we have the
let's
best
tell the
game
public.
in the shop. Go ahead, James.
My uncle.
Oh my gosh.
So what is the actual
Oh,
relationship?
man, I don't know.
The game is someone yells out.
We're friends. Just friends.
What's
We're
an example,
roommates.
James?
Okay,
We're just
somebody
friends.
yells out an odd family relation, and you have to figure out the logistics.
Something
of how
as
that,
if it
sister,
were to be
uncle,
in like
cousins.
the South.
Second cousin
almost.
once removed. Go.
if you say something,
But worse. But worse.
I don't like talking.
You don't like talking about
This
it, huh?
is an awkward game.
It's like your sister mom, you know? You go,
Yeah, sister
"Oh,
mom.
He's
so
That's how
telling
his
us
sister
from past
mom works.
So your
experience.
so-and-so did this to so-and-so, and now you have a sister mom.
It's
Right,
a
and then you
brain
gotta figure it
exercise.
out.
A and B came together and made a C, and how is that C came about? You know, so you have
So
to figure
somebody
out.
They
yells out
should
the
have taught
thing.
in school.
Now you got a sister
Yeah,
wife.
it's-
Yeah, and then you have
How
to
did
solve
I
the
get
problem.
a second? Actually, my sister did that. She accidentally dated her second cousin,
Oh, wow.
by marriage or
You're
something.
just airing it
She didn't
out.
know until they went to go meet the
Yeah.
parents, and they're like, "Wait a sec, we're cousins."
Until Maury Povich.
That is weird. Was that weird for
Only
them?
in Valley Center.
Was
yeah,
that
they didn't.
weird
They
for
didn't
them?
date for very
It was in
long.
Valley Center. You mean the Alabama of California? Bama.
It's,
Yeehaw!
Everybody in Valley Center now hates us.
it is.
We
And-
lost
You've
at
eliminated
least two
all those
subscribers.
Sorry, Valley Center. I love you. We get to shoot guns out there, and you guys are all super cool.
I lived up there for like 11, 12 years.
yeah.
Yeah, right behind Papa Bear's, man.
Got all the best off-road stuff on Craigslist.
Is Papa
There we
Bear's
go.
the bar with all the motorcycles up front?
It's a little restaurant by the gas station when you first come in to Valley Center
okay.
on the left,
Okay. Yeah,
right between the Napa and the gas
I
station.
don't stop, and I also don't make eye contact with people. But we go to Crickety Biscuit, right? That's my favorite restaurant.
Gibby.
He means corner skillet.
The corner skillet. Huh?
You say you don't make eye contact with people.
He's staring.
Oh man, Kenny
Just
boom,
stares
roasted.
you down.
Just got you.
Are we
There
doing
you
staring contest on a podcast? That would
Yeah,
be
we are.
rad.
All right,
Everyone
30
wanna
seconds
hear
of silence. Not really. All right, continue talking.
That doesn't
lift.
translate on radio very well.
I had a joke about Valley Center, like a nice home in Valley Center being like a single-wide trailer in Tornado Alley, like in Idaho. But I think the time is gone now.
I mean, I think you just brought it back. That was pretty.
Like
that
the
wasn't-
lake beds in Santee kind of thing.
That wasn't forced at all.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, smooth.
Your sister's brother. Or whatever.
Sister, brother,
You
second
guys
cousin.
play this game around the shop? Okay. Whatever. It's
Yeah.
fine.
We'll play
It
later.
keeps the day going, you know? That's the way we
why
look at it.
Shit doesn't get done around here.
No.
I don't see that on Twitter.
That truck frame's been in here for 2 months. Who would have known?
Mm.
You know?
Anyway, so Jake sold the Ranger body to a guy who hacks up cars for scrap metal. And this guy was awesome. He showed up. He had what looked to me like a broken collarbone. His arm was in a sling. Okay?
He was interesting.
A truck with a trailer, and basically...
Did he have a mullet?
Not that I recall, but he could have been hiding it from me.
He should have had one.
I mean, I wouldn't put it too
He
far
had
off.
patches of hair. Let's say that.
And he had one tool. It was one of those giant, like gas-powered saws.
Chop saw.
It's like a chainsaw, like a 2-stroke chainsaw, but with a Sawzall blade on it.
Yeah, giant.
That's like fire department, like Jaws of Life kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah,
I'll get you out.
It was for sure a fire department. And he's like, hey, I'm here for that truck. And I was like, cool, because they left me here to deal with that because that's my job here at Bet Motorsports.
Dealing with shit.
Yeah. And I go in the back, and he's got already like a super chopped up like E30 chassis. And then he just like starts going at this old Ranger body so he
With one arm.
He broke the cap to his gas, and so he was just like turning it on there, and he had gas spilling everywhere out of the thing.
Well,
and
there's just sparks
flying. And I went up and I talked to him, and I was like, you're not too worried about that, are you? He's like, gotta get it done. And I was like, right on, brother. So he was killing it.
He chopped that thing up and had it on his trailer in like 30 minutes. He's like, okay, I'm out of here.
Gone.
With one arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was very impressed. So, props to that guy.
Dang.
I think he lives out in Slab City.
He probably does.
What's his name? Jeremiah.
No. He had a broken arm.
Broken arm. Not one arm.
Not missing an arm?
Not missing an arm.
Jeremiah said he would do it again, by
Yes.
the way. Some young girl, rich girl, drove by and took out his arm, and he got he got a bunch of money. And I said, Jeremiah, would you do that again? Would you rather have your arm or the money? He's like, oh, like fuck that. Yeah, I can do it over and over again. I love you, Jeremiah.
Only twice though.
Last time we came in here,
You know, many more options after that.
last time we did the podcast, I spoke very freely, and I offended roughly like 26 people in our group from
Did
the
you
podcast.
really?
So tonight, have I offended anyone except for Jeremiah, obviously, and Kenneth, I guess.
Well, yeah, you told Kenneth has a
He's got
shit.
horsepower.
Yeah.
He's giving me these huge stares.
I'm
I'm
pretty
not
sure-
looking at him. But.
I can drive, okay?
You brought up Valley Center, so you just invited like an entire town.
Right.
Yeah,
The
and he
whole
lives
Every
there
demographic
too.
possible.
I was just throwing people under.
I think you should be able to speak your mind. I mean, that's what this is all about,
But
right?
it has consequences.
Well, you're
Welcome to 2018.
Stay in school.
well, I mean, it depends. Is your whole goal here to make friends or alienate people? Because I'm usually of the alienate people because I have already enough friends, and I don't need any more people hanging around me. You know what I mean?
We should have like cards, like insult cards, and then when you do that, you just throw one in.
Yeah, throw an insult
and
card in.
Like, yeah, if you use them all, then you're done.
Then you're done.
Uno?
Yeah,
I
kind of like that.
Uno? Insult Uno. Sorry. Quit. I'll rent my own next time. It's not worth it.
He doesn't like when I shove it in
Mike
his
sharing,
face.
Mike sharing is quite the thing.
Dealing with you.
Hey, Kenny left. You can go over there now.
We offended him.
Yeah, Kenny left. He's like,
Hey, they
fuck you,
killed
Gibby.
Kenny.
Fuck you, Gibby. I'm out of here.
They killed Kenny.
Oh, he's back.
Oh, he's back.
Hey, Kenny.
You just got
Welcome.
another beverage.
Mr. Diversity.
Why are all the insult cards in the middle?
Yeah, you used them all.
We invented a game while you were gone called Diversity. No, not Diversity Uno. What's the other? Insult Uno.
Insult Uno.
It's like, here's like a draw of 4 before insults.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like your Celica's piece of shit.
Oh, that was fun though. I really liked that actually. I love that kind of stuff.
Have you ever played Exploding Kittens?
No?
Yes, I have.
That's a great game.
It's actually a great game. Yeah.
How, is it microwave 90 seconds like those?
No, you don't actually blow kittens up. It's just a card game.
Well, I know that. Good, because I was going to say, I love
yeah,
kittens. Like, don't do that shit.
I mean, I've never played.
Not cool.
No, it's
Yeah.
a stupid game.
Yeah.
Not cool. They do that in Slab City.
Exploding Kittens.
That was an odd place.
And they eat.
So we've got a moto gambler coming up. We've got a potential gambler where boats could be
mini
involved.
bike gambler. Mini bike.
Or mini bike. Sorry.
Mini
The moto
bike.
gambler's
You want
done.
to say that one more
No,
time?
you
Mini
can't
bike
bring your
gambler is
Harley.
coming.
It won't fit. Don't be a cheater.
And we need to make plans for the SEMA gamble because we're going to try to glom on to whatever they got going on.
I
You
love
guys
how
are going to be at SEMA, right?
Yeah, we go every
be there?
year.
Sure.
All right, sweet.
Yeah.
We're going to swing by your booth.
And
Soon.
the
No, we don't
Oregon
have-
gamble.
No, we don't
he's
do
still
it.
wearing all the wristbands for less.
Sponsored by Ben Motorsports.
Quit moving that motherfucker.
We don't have a booth. We can't afford that. We just roll around making fun of other people's booths.
My favorite thing is, first off, is that Mustachio is actually in charge of keeping this whole thing on task, which is hilarious to me. But
I was-
about every 10 minutes of exploding kittens and rednecks and insult bingo and all this
It's
stuff.
like, all right, guys. So we have the gambler guys here. Let's just start from square
so
one.
the gambler, that's kind of funny.
We've had so many people talking. This is already going to take me like an insane amount of time to clean up.
Let's all talk at the same time. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Talking over
Gibby,
people.
we have to share. Hold on, wait. Now Gibby's turn.
I'm missing pieces.
And also like just pre-apologizing for if I can't get this fan. There's a very loud fan.
It's
Yeah,
probably
it's
our
really
mic that's
hot in
picking
the
it
shop,
up.
and I turned the fan on, and my AV guy is shitting a brick over here. Like, really, bro? A fan? There's microphones
That's
in
what
here.
you're worried
I just
about?
needed my hair to blow while we were doing this, okay?
Gives the effect.
You said do the
I
Christina
get warm.
Aguilera
I'll
thing.
turn into Betty White here if I...
Hopefully soon I'll be able to tell people what it's like to seam weld an entire chassis. That'll be fun.
Yeah, you got to strip. We got to get that rotisserie in here so that we can rotisserie the Celica.
Are we actually going to do that? Because I would love to do that. But
I don't think there's any other way to do it.
Really? You're telling me that would just be much too difficult to try to...
Do you want to lay underneath your Celica and grind all the seams open so you can weld
that's
them?
what I was going to say because we have a C10 on the lift when truly it's on blocks, so...
I will look into getting the rotisserie.
That would be awesome.
Because I don't want to buy one, but I have a friend with one.
Yeah.
And I could potentially use it for an infinite amount of time, maybe.
That would be 100% amazing.
That's the way it needs to be done. I would even say that should be done at your casa.
Yeah, no. I can do that.
Because don't you have a big field in the back?
I mean, I have enough area in the back to rotisserie a car.
Because when the car's on the rotisserie, it's like 2 cars. It takes up a lot of space with the rotisserie.
Yeah.
Oh, we good.
And you want a place where you can, scrape and
I'll
sandblast.
just be scraping and grinding.
Yeah, and grind, and it makes an awful mess doing that job, but it is a necessity for stitch welding that unibody yet.
All right, cool. No, I'll just do that then. That'll be awesome.
But if you
You
can't
guys
do it
wanna
there,
take
we
it
can definitely
private?
do it here. It's just getting it in and out of the shop every day might be troublesome.
No, that sounds like...
Unless you want to
a lot of
dedicate,
work.
hey, 2 days, I'm going to get
Jake?
this whole thing done.
Well, I actually am that style, so that
then that could work.
Jake and I pretty much swapped an engine in and out and then back into a vehicle in, less than 48 hours. And it took 2 nights of staying up until 4 or 5, but that's pretty much how I work.
Hey, so you want to do an engine swap on my truck?
It makes sense. The 48 hours, 2 nights being included.
Right. That's good enough. Solid.
I mean, I used all of the hours. I'm just saying.
There just happened to be 2 nights in the 48 hours.
Yeah, you need me to engine swap a car?
LS swap. Let's do it.
Sweet. That'll be...
That's like the
James
tagline
doesn't do
around here.
those.
Everybody's LS swap. LS swap.
I'm not about that. I want if I want an obscure off-brand Japanese, Korean, something motor.
How about a rotary?
No.
Rotaries are rad.
Fine,
Yeah.
you say you want it. No.
You know
Wankle,
what's-
baby. Wankle.
You know what's great is that everybody with a rotary owns like 3 or 4 of those triangular pistons, and you're like, why do you own so many? And they're like, oh, because it doesn't work.
They blow up.
It's the Apex seals, bro.
'Cause
It's the
they're
Apex seals. That's
broken. Because it's a bad design. Like, sick, dude.
No way, man. They brought it back, right? It's good design. Right? Sure.
Sure.
You just got to put 3 of them in there.
Oh, okay, cool. Did they bring the rotary motor back?
Or 4.
Well, that RX-7 in the what year was that when they brought the Wankle back?
That was like 2008.
Yeah, I don't know.
the
what it was.
RX-8?
Yeah.
Oh.
Those were 13Bs.
What's the one that
Yeah.
What's the one that
The
Peter
inner
has
one.
over there?
That's
That's an RX-7.
RX-7, but
Yeah.
it's like
That was
What'd I
like
say?
90s.
It's so hot.
Then they kept going until like the newer RX-8s.
which are still garbage.
You're
Which is
telling
why
me-
people take those motors out and put LSs in them.
Do you think
And
they're
then there's
garbage
a bunch
because
of
they're
them.
garbage, or do you think they're garbage because of all the regulations that they've got to meet with emissions?
Probably regulations.
Like
Honestly.
if you could run that thing without any emissions and just build it the way you want to build
it'd
it,
be pretty solid.
Yeah.
right? It'd be
It'd
badass.
be cheap. It's just like really expensive to run it how it is from the factory.
Right.
You just have to have the funds to be able to maintain it.
Apparently,
Right.
the chassis on those, the RX-8s, the newer ones, those had a pretty good chassis.
Yeah.
There was a company back in the day, I think it was called Tri-Point Engineering, that used to make really badass rotaries.
They're sick. The RX-8 came turbo.
Yeah.
Not here, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
which is pretty rad.
Are you telling me there's no way that Peter would sell that car?
I don't think so, dude.
I don't think so.
Fair enough.
No way.
There's been like 8 different people that have
Smart
asked him in
man.
the last
I think
like,
that was his
month.
pop's car, so
I
it's
hear
off
you.
limits.
I hear you.
I don't even think it was that. I think like his dad gave it to him, and he wasn't even using it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it's like my Spitfire. I'll never sell that.
Yeah, but that's different. That's been through the whole family. You know, like I think this is just some project his dad picked up and then gave to him. I don't think it was like anything significant.
Fair enough.
He says he drives it like every few months, but I don't believe that one bit. It's been in the same exact spot for years.
Yeah.
Fair.
Years.
Anything else, guys?
I have a question for you guys.
Oh, yeah, hit me, Gibby.
Does anybody work here know anything about Ducati motorcycles?
No.
I mean,
They're Italian.
James does.
Thanks.
And they're,
They're
red.
No, for the Gambler in Oregon, I was
Or
told
yellow.
there's a guy on Craigslist that we're sharing our horrors of each trying to sell the motorcycle, so we kind of connected that way.
What?
It's a Ducati ST3. It's a sport touring bike, but it's been crashed. All the fairings are toast and all that kind of stuff. He'd sell it to me for $1,000. I said, put some knobbies on that thing and go up to Oregon and mob around a little bit because the Gambler's out of control. There's ambulances, fire trucks, the flexi bus. Remember with the jacuzzi in the back? Like you can't outdo anybody. Like an AMC Eagle is not. It's been done normal. 1,000 times. And my buddy said, "Why do you want to take a bike to Oregon?" I said, "Have you ever seen anyone gamble a Ducati with knobbies on it?" He's like, "Well, that's a good point." So I was curious. I don't know shit about Italian motorcycles, but
I think that would be awesome.
it looks like a Mad Max kind of thing. So it's totally been wrecked. And
It'd be like gambling a Ferrari.
And paint it yellow.
Right? But it's a
Or
motorcycle.
red. No,
yeah, exactly. So there's not too many bikes, so that that's been done. Not been
put a
done
rotary
much,
in it.
but
Yeah.
I think it would be a great idea.
Definitely won't make it.
so no free labor. Okay, that's cool. Thanks for the beer, though. That's rad.
I mean, bring it in. I'll put some knobbies on it for you. Whatever. I don't care. I can learn on the fly.
It actually has the rear hugger to it.
I mean, it's just like bolts and paint and metal and stuff. It's the same as a car, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess anyone that could do a project for a Tesla can probably work on a $1,000 shitty Craigslist Ducati, but
I'll work
whatever.
on it.
I'd like to see references, though.
I sawzalled a couple Teslas apart.
I was there for that.
She's like
It's happened.
Pre-runner Instagram.
It's happened.
Just knobbies on the Ducati.
That sounds cool.
We need people to email Bent Motorsports with topics that they want to hear us talk about.
Yeah, go ahead. Hit us up. bentmotorsports.com /
Just go to the website and just put in the little thing for contact and say, hey, talk about this on your
Hashtag
podcast.
email. Hashtag.
Yeah, hit us up
Hashtag
on,
Or on Instagram, whatever you want to do on
Ben
Facebook.
Motorsports.
Comment on
Drop a little
Instagram,
comment.
DM on Instagram.
Slip a DM
Yeah.
in there.
Something.
There we go.
Yeah.
slide into
Steph-
our DM.
Whoa,
Slide on right
Steph
them.
sliding into
Slide.
somebody's DM? What's?
We will
I don't
write
know-
them down and we will
I'm too
talk
old. I
about
don't
them.
understand what these words mean.
My Instagram is @Gambler Gibby. That's Gibby. What is a Gibby? Okay.
Bitch, please.
Yeah, definitely give us some ideas for topics you want to hear us talk about. And it could be about, water ballet. I don't care. We'll talk about anything, whatever you guys want to hear us talk about.
A water
We don't
bottle,
have
that'd
to
be a
talk about
cool
motorsports stuff. We can talk
That'd be
about
a
ice
cool topic.
skating. I mean, James is an avid ice skater. Not a hockey skater, like an ice skater.
I played hockey
Yeah.
for a lot of
Figure
years.
skating.
Yeah,
I wear
figure
a-
skating.
I wear a dress.
Blades of Glory.
Yeah, exactly.
Great
Somebody,
movie.
hey, you know what? Somebody I went to school with was in that movie. You know when they're what's
My
his
dad was
name?
in Lincoln Lawyer.
Chaz Michaels. Is that Will Ferrell? Is that the guy from Napoleon Dynamite?
My dad was in Lincoln Lawyer.
Okay, we get it, James.
He was in the same
What was
frame
he-
as
what was
Matthew
he
McConaughey.
My grandpa has a mustache too.
My dad. Nobody cares about your.
You know the girl that's getting her skates tightened by Chaz Michaels or whoever
Yeah,
it is?
yeah.
That's one of my good friend's sisters. And
Do you know her?
Yeah.
Oh, we're playing the
Real
game?
well.
Sister's cousin.
Yeah.
Wait,
That's a tie-in.
I don't remember the game. Son of a...
That reminds me. Did you guys see the Jay Leno's Garage shot an episode with the Gambler guys in Oregon?
No.
No, we missed it.
So if you guys watch the show, at some point, I guess there'll be an episode about Jay Leno going gambling. So yeah, it reminded me because you said your brother, sister's uncle,
Yeah,
who's
sisters,
my
twice removed,
relation, the family tree's a wreath, all that kind of thing. Because some of my gambler buddies, the guys that started in Oregon, like Mitchell and Tate and stuff, they posted pictures on Instagram of a check that says made out to talent from Jay Leno Productions, like $104, because they filmed that TV show and they must have had to talk or something like that. But so they consider themselves paid professional
Wow.
talents.
Why
I
wouldn't you?
love
Yeah.
Jay Leno.
Is that great?
On his
Yeah.
car, he's so good. He's just like, wow, yeah, oh yeah.
They said he was super cool. He took pictures with everyone, really nice guy.
Oh, yeah.
So that's kind of nice to hear when celebrities
100%.
are nice.
That's all I hear about him.
Anybody who wears denim 24/7 has got to be cool as shit,
He
right?
must be sponsored by Levi himself.
He is one step away from wearing a Canadian tuxedo.
Yeah, he's close. He's
I feel like
close.
He's one
That's a
Mustang
penguin
away.
thing, isn't it? What's a Canadian tuxedo?
It's all
Where you
denim.
wear all denim. You got
Denim
the
pants,
denim
denim
jacket.
shirt.
with
Denim
the-
tie.
With like a bolo tie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
Do kids know
Canadian
what a bolo
tuxedo
tie is?
right
Yeah,
there.
excellent. Cool.
Like I've never seen a
That's
cowboy.
What projects do we got coming up other than the Celica? The Beamer's done.
This thing.
No.
Oh, we still need to do the Mishimoto cooling upgrade on the Jeep. Look for that YouTube video coming out soon. We've actually got to do the job, and then James has to actually edit the video.
Yeah, it's true. And I imagine, are we going to be pulling the Willies down anytime soon?
I would love to. My kids are out of school now, so summertime means they're going to work on that thing.
That'd be great.
So we can work on the Willies a little bit. Maybe we'll get some videos up of that.
That'll be fun. They'll be in here working on the Willies, and I'll bring my Celica.
Celica.
What, Celica. In the Toyota, in the Toyota Celica.
That's exactly what the guy sounds
Wow, that
like.
was good.
That's
That was
those.
good.
They make those videos where it's like a video voice that goes with the words you type, and that's what you sound like.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know the name, so it's not very good entertainment value.
Fair
But
All right,
we
well,
should do the. You guys ever see? Real quick, did you ever see those Hitler videos on YouTube?
All right.
It's like
well,
from Hitler.
welcome to the
Damn it! Don't come out.
Motorsports Podcast. Tune in next week.
where we won't talk about Hitler. Thank you.
At all.
Or shivs.
It's just like a 3-minute video of him from a movie.
Gibby, you ran out of your cards a long time ago. You can't buy more.
I still want to tell you the story.
Tell us the story.
Keep talking.
It's from a movie.
Drop the mic.
Sports
Podcast. Thanks for listening in. Be sure to give us a follow on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube at Bent Motorsports. Stay updated on the latest happenings, future projects, videos, events here at the shop. Remember, guys, at Bent Motorsports, bids in stock, we've got it.